The snipers. I haven't made one of these videos in about 1.5 years, so I feel like it's a good time to bring it back. And one important thing to note here.
So we almost have 267, 270 subs. Dude, we're getting close to 300.
So I've added tiers of potential and difficulty. And tiers can go from F to S, aka worst to best, because of the fact that there are a lot of weapons in a lot of these categories. So, for example, snipers is hard to rank one better than another, you know? I'm still gonna try my best to rank worst to best, but every sniper is gonna be given a tier to show that they're pretty much in power. And potential basically means how good it can be at its peak efficiency. So, for example, the BFG is gonna have a really low potential because it just can't kill that fast, it can't kill that many people. And the Steyr Scout, in contrast, is going to have really high potential because it can kill way more people. In contrast to the Scout, the BFG is going to be way easier in difficulty, while the Scout is going to be way harder in difficulty. So I feel like the Steyr Scout and BFG are very good examples here. So the Steyr Scout is going to have really high potential and really high difficulty. So for an average player, that high difficulty is really going to interfere with that potential. So you're not going to really be able to use all of that potential that the Steyr Scout has. But due to the fact that the BFG has such easy difficulty, but not even that high potential, you're obviously going to be able to use all that potential because it's a very easy sniper, even for the average player. So that's basically the format I'm going to use for the worst best series right now, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, and before I start, I gotta say that two guns can have roughly the same potential and difficulty, but not be in the same tier or level because of other factors such as ammo, speed, etc. I just have to make that clear, alright? So let's start with the worst sniper. So starting at the worst sniper, we have the MTW-20, which I would put at the E tier. The MTW-20 doesn't have high potential, nor does it have any sort of difficulty whatsoever. So it will not be hard to reach potential, but that potential obviously isn't very high and isn't very effective. But movement, fire rate, reload speed, you can't stand up while aiming and stuff like that. So overall, it's just not very good. Sure, if you want a backman, go for it. That's on you. But yeah, that's why I put the NTW at the worst. In the next spot, we have the BFG-50, which is not surprising at all that I would put this here. I would put that the worst or the second worst, like forever now. You know, it's the usual. The tier I would give the BFG-50 is tier E, the same as the NTW. It's very similar to the NTW, where it doesn't have a lot of potential, nor does it have a lot of difficulty. The only real upside to the BFG compared to the NTW, I'd say, is the amount of speed that it has, and that's why I genuinely think it's better than the NTW. That's all a lot of I would give, which is not surprising at all that I go for it, and I would put the NTW difficulty whatsoever, so it will not be hard to and 5 high potential. So we're gonna jump up 2 tiers now for our next weapon, which is the AWS, which I'm gonna put at tier B. The AWS has pretty high potential and pretty mid difficulty, due to the fact that the muzzle velocity isn't very high, and it's an extremely fast sniper in a way. But the AWS has pretty slow muzzle velocity, but it has fast fire rate, a lot of bullets, 50 studs, 1 hit per torso. It's a pretty solid sniper, but there's better snipers out there, you know? Next up, we have the M1903, which is in the B tier. The M1903 has somewhat high potential, and it's also quite easy to use in my opinion. So the difficulty isn't very high. The reason why I think this is because it has a pretty solid torso kill range of 75 studs, insanely high muzzle velocity of 3000, and 5 studs penetration. It's overall a pretty easy to use sniper rifle. Next up, we have the FT300, which is going to be our last B tier sniper rifle, and it's with a very specific setup that I will touch on very soon. So the FT300 has very high potential, I'd say, but it's also quite hard to use. Well, it's not insanely hard, but it has a pretty high skill ceiling, I'd say, because of the fact that the setup you use requires very high accuracy. The setup is very much focused on the integral suppressor having a further 1-hit kill torso range, and without marksmanship, I also think it has a further 1-hit kill torso range, so the setup is very focused on that aspect. But that also means you only have one bullet, and you really need to play around that. But granted that reload speed is extremely fast, so it's not the biggest of problems. And also the handling is fast, the ADS is fast, the move speed is fast. Everything is just fast about the gun, but you have to play around the one bullet capacity for it to be pretty good. And that's why it's a top B-tier sniper. Next up we have the M107, which I think is our first A-tier sniper rifle. The M107 has very high potential, but it also has a very high skip ceiling, meaning being more difficult to use, because it is an extremely slow sniper rifle with a very high fire rate and extremely high recoil. It's a weird thing to use, and you gotta play around the very short steady time that you get with the scope, or you can just not use a scope at all. But I think that also decreases ADS speed, so there's a lot of things that goes into making an M107 setup. The M107 has very specific damage stats where it does more damage at range and less damage close up, and that means it can one-tap torso past like 100 studs, I think. So if you're playing Desert and you can really get that recoil down and really get those back-to-back shots, it is incredibly powerful. But the fact that it's so slow, you don't have a lot of reserve, and it's gonna be hard to find ammo, it's gonna stay in A tier, in my opinion. Next up we have the Hecate, which I'd say is the easiest sniper rifle in the game. The Hecate is also at A tier.
That's a girl. It's not Hecate, it's not Hecate, it's Hecate.
Mid to high range, I'd say. The difficulty is extremely low, so you have a very good balance here of just it being an extremely easy sniper to use. Because it one-shot stores all ranges, has 3000 muzzle velocity, has 10 studs penetration, has 7 bullets in a magazine. It is just such a baseline easy sniper, and it's almost brain dead to use. It's just good. It's just a good sniper. Next up we have the Mosin Nagant at tier A. This gun has high potential and also pretty high difficulty, and there's genuinely not a lot to say about it. It's a headshot machine, hit your shots, shoot fast, I don't know, bing bang boom. So next up we have the TRG 22, not 42, 22 at tier A. The TRG 22 has pretty high potential, while also being in the sort of mid-range of difficulty, because it can one-shot torso in close quarters and has like 3,300 studs per second muzzle velocity. It is a very, very good all-rounder, if that makes any sense. It's fast firing, good handling, 10 bullets, a lot of muzzle velocity, a torso kill, and it's just overall a pretty solid sniper. Next up we have the AWP. Not the AWM, the AWP. So the AWP is also in A tier, and I'd say the AWP has higher potential than the TRG-42, even though they're very similar. And I'll also say that the AWP has higher difficulty than the TRG-22 because of the fact that it has lower muzzle velocity, but it does shoot faster than the TRG-22, which I really like. And I think it has around the same torso kill range, so they're very equal weapons. But the fact that the AWP has higher fire rate than the TRG-22 makes me think it's better. Alright, that's my argument here. So yeah, the AWP tier A. Next up we have the Dragunov SVDS, which I would just say is the AWP but better. It's just that simple. It's at tier A still, and the potential is extremely high on this weapon because it's semi-automatic and you can very much get those follow-up shots. And the difficulty, I'd say, is also around the mid-range. I would say it's sort of the same as the TRG-22. But the thing with SVDS, also I feel like it's the same thing with the Mosin, that it has this weird sway ADS, even though that the ADS is pretty fast. I don't know if I'm going insane thinking that, but it definitely feels like that. But the SVDS has a 70 stud one kill torso, which is better than both the AWP and the TRG-22, which makes it just better, I'd say, with having around the same fire rate and same potential. Now next up we have the R700 with 32 ACP, which is our first S-tier sniper rifle. So why is this an S-tier sniper rifle, you might ask? Well, it's basically like a budget scout. The potential is basically 10 out of 10. It's max potential, alright? And the difficulty is also 10 out of 10. But the problem with the R700, I'd say, which makes it worse than other snipers
Jesus
that
Christ.
comes up now, is its horrendous muscle velocity. It has around 2.4.
Who starts to scope that big on a Scar L?
So you gotta really work around that to get to know that muscle velocity for it to really work. Or you could just get the scout. But that is like rank 200 or something, you know. So yeah, the R700, first rank S-gun, and it's the 5th best sniper in the game, I'd say. Next up we have the K14, which is also in S tier, and this is a very peculiar sniper because I didn't really like it that much before, but it very much acts similar to the R700 with 32 ACP. I know that sounds crazy, but the difference is that, actually I would say it's more of a fuse between the R700 with 32 ACP and something like the AWP. The K14 has extremely high potential. I wouldn't say it's as high as the R700, but it's also in the mid to high difficulty range, so it's somewhat hard to use, but it's less hard than the R700 with 32 ACP, if that makes any sense. But the reason why I think it's better though, even though that the 32 ACP R700 has higher potential, is because of the fact that it has a torso multiplier and has higher damage overall at range. So the thing is, with the K14 is that it can one-tap torso up to 40 studs, and I think it can two-tap, no, I don't think it can two-tap torso all ranges, but you can one-tap torso in CQC, which makes it a better all-rounder, because as good as you might be, you're not gonna hit all headshots in CQC, and that's why the K14 is a very good sniper for this. Next up, we have the Y2000, also in the S tier. So the Y2000 has extremely high potential. I would say it's slightly under the R700 with 32 ACP, and it also has very mid difficulty, I'd say. It has high potential with very mid difficulty because of the fact that it very much acts like a DMR at the moment. It one-kills all ranges to the head.
Man, that guy did not know how to control his Glock 18C.
Extremely good. They buffed the reload on the thing, and it aims pretty fast. So it acts more like a DMR, if anything. And due to the fact that it has high damage overall compared to something like the R700 with 32 ACP, you're gonna be able to hit those 2 shots much easier in CQC. So the potential, I would say, is around the R700, but not the same, because the R700 has more bullets and faster, and that's why the Y2K has slightly less potential. Next up, we have the rank 0 sniper, the Intervention. So this is a very special sniper, I'd say, because the potential, I'd say, is even under the K14.
Yeah, that's funny. Actually, wait,
I would say
might have to get grenade kills anyway.
SBDS, its ease of use is what really makes it shine. So I guess the way to put it is the fact that the Intervention has 3,200 muscle velocity with good ADS and a 100.
Don't go in my house, boy.
Towards the kill range, and that's what really makes it.
How did I not die from that?
150 studs towards the kill range makes it sort of like it makes it.
I almost hit. I did get one. How did I get one?
They get these too slow, I think. That's my problem. That Intervention still has a sort of speed aspect to it.
Dude, he was so close to death.
Because you can kill multiple people in close quarters with it, I'd say, which you can't really do with Hecate. Sure, you could, but the Intervention does it way better. And that's why I'd say Intervention is the second best sniper in the game. And at number 1, also S tier, I think it's really surprising. I have put the Steyr Scout at number 1. The Steyr Scout has max potential and max difficulty. Because obviously that's how it works. You gotta hit head to kill. But the thing is, like with the Steyr Scout compared to the R700 with 32 ACP, even though they have the same difficulty and potential, the Steyr Scout has 120 reserve, can pick up ammo from ARs, has 3000 muzzle velocity, can use scopes with the marksman kit, which the R700 can't. Well, you can do that on the R700 if you don't want to use the extended mag. And the Steyr Scout just does better. And it's the main part is the muzzle velocity in my eyes. And that's with 5.56. And if you want the Steyr Scout to be a little bit slower, but more precise, you can obviously use normal ammo, which makes the muzzle velocity around 3,300, and you also have a lot of penetration. So the Steyr Scout, I feel like, is a pretty perfect headshot machine. It's the sniper you want. I know people are gonna comment, oh, where's the Dragon of SVU? It's a DMR. I don't care what you think, it's a DMR. It's not a sniper. Alright, if you guys enjoyed the video, press the like button. But remember to, even if you don't have any, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya, love you, mwah.
Where's the best pistols?
I've got some bad news, boys. I have an opinion. I have a few opinions, actually, and as we get into this video, where I will be rating all of the pistols of Phantom Forces,
deathmatch, and it's this map. Perfect combo. I love this map.
Screaming for after the video. Thanks.
You can use ARs on this map. You can use SMGs to a point on this map. You can use snipers on this map.
Short amount of time per gun. If you like this, maybe I'll make a more in-depth tier list in the future. We'll see. Anyways, video. I don't think anyone will care too much that I think the M2011 is the worst pistol. Shocking when some of the others look like this, but we'll get to that. The M2011 isn't horrible stats-wise, average at best, if anything, and it's got a large magazine, and looks super interesting, but its unlock level being 146 for said average stats makes it a horrible bang for the buck. Got that out of the way? Everyone calm so far? Everything's okay? No screaming? Okay, we can move on. Sadly, the GB22 comes towards the bottom for me personally. I'm a huge fan of these weird guns, but default performance is very bad. Oh, but Steven, it's got 1,000 times headshot multiplier. That means like your average player is not a level 250 that has nothing better to do than fly around and get one taps all day. It's really fun with conversions, but stock performance, not too great. Christ, here we go. Yeah, the Zip 22's bad. I know.
Zip 22 is the worst pistol in my opinion.
No damage. So silly and quirky. Ooh. But again, from a realistic standpoint, it is a very poor secondary that is sometimes funny. Sure. Maybe even a little too funny sometimes. But 15 damage is 15 damage, and the ultimate no recoil setup cannot save that fact. Real quick, please understand that a lot of these are basically the same stats-wise, so it's really difficult to be able to pick just one over the other, so I may lump a few together. Try to keep the, but this one has more damage than that, comments at bay, please. Thank you. With that said, I'm lumping these next two together here. I love basically all of the low-level weapons in the entirety of Phantom Forces, and I love both the M9 and G17. They give a lot of great stats for level 0 unlocks. I shouldn't even call them unlocks, really. You just have them. But the thing that I hate is the way that the recoil is animated. It makes it really difficult to see where your bullets are going whenever you're spamming. Are the bullets landing at where the front sight is, or where the crosshair is when the gun's facing forward? Who knows? I'm also putting together the G21 and G23 in the same kind of lower spot, because while they have less of that G17 and M9 style recoil, they still suffer from it quite a bit, and while damage range are fairly solid for both, being level 21 and 23 respectively, I just feel that there are better options at similar levels. Speaking of similar levels, I really struggle to place the G40. On one hand, it's not too high to rank at, who guessed it, rank 40. It's got a decent damage range, decent multipliers that make it like a 3-shot. It's at least a guaranteed 4-shot, but something about it just feels super clunky. I think it's a mix of like the lower fire rate and the still pretty bad Glock style recoil. But I don't know, it's, if you like it, you like it. Background hurts to even include anywhere on this list near the bottom because it holds such a special place in my heart. From the multiplayer on Black Ops 1 to the games of Apocalypse Rising, it is a personal favorite of mine for Cold War era weapons. But while a solid looking gun in Phantom Forces on the surface, I feel like a lot of its potential is hindered by its 8+1 round magazine, which kind of kills it for me to recommend, especially at almost rank 100.
Oh, shit!
If I put this, people will get mad. If I put it at the worst, people are gonna get mad. If I put it at the best, people are gonna get mad. Just try not to get mad. But I think that the 1911 is really middle of the road. Hence why
it is middle of the road.
It's a low rank unlock, but it's got fairly poor recoil and a pretty small magazine, but it makes up for those shortcomings for the most part, with having really good damage. Overall, pretty okay. Not my go-to though. This gun is basically everything the 1911 is, but with ever so slightly reduced recoil and slightly higher magazine capacity in favor of slightly reduced damage. Give a little,
I love the
take a little.
M25.
Those are the trade-offs. The hard Baller balls kinda hard. It's a scaled up 1911 with less close-up damage than the last two variants, but it gives you a lot more velocity and penetration, and it feels super beefy to use even with reduced damage. Still slaps. All other 1911s aside, what's better than a 1911? Two 1911s, glued together for convenience. Fancy. These take the whole recoil issue I keep talking about to a whole other level. Meanwhile, cranking up the time since you're firing 2 shots at once, this thing can literally one-shot to the torso up to 55 studs. It's wild. It almost makes the fact that it costs 201 ranks worth it. Now, obviously, these being my opinions, I'm a bit biased. They are opinions after all, but you give me an integrally suppressed Makarov with stupid high damage and an even higher torso and head multiplier, and I'm a happy guy. Sadly, we
and you're out of ammo.
But with its
son of a bitch,
satisfying sound, and the fact that you can one-tap makes it very high on my personal list. I know this would probably be lower on someone else's list, but this is mine. I'm gonna lump the G50 in here too. It's similar enough. I didn't realize how overpowered the GSP was because, well, who wants to use this? And looking at the damage figures, it looks really bad on the surface, but it has a wild headshot multiplier, and out to 65 studs, mind you, it can one-tap. Similar to the GB22 in the sense that you have to hit a headshot with it, but you get a 5+1 round magazine, so it's like the GB22 with an extended mag. Pretty sweet, would recommend. The Alien. Oh god. This $8,000-ish competition pistol is also a headshot machine, just like the GSP, but with slight tweaks to damage figures and a lot less damage range, though a 17-round magazine. Nice. The KG-99 is also another one that's like weird to place. It's basically just a semi-auto Tech 9. Great damage, low recoil, high magazine capacity. Besides being a well-rounded pistol in a fairly low rank, it's just pretty good. Also nice. The Gyrojet, definitely one of the most unique, quirky girl boss guns in the entirety of Metal. The Gyrojet fires essentially rockets, so need I say more? Yes, because damage is increased the farther away you are, so it's basically a sniper. A personal favorite of mine to pair with Essen.
Oh my god, stupid little asshole. Holy shit, where is everyone? Wait, what? You can do this with the scope? What are you watching? Dude, where is everybody? Holy shit, is it quarantine or something? God damn it, dude. Where is this little prick? Come on. Oh my god. Oh, that's brutal. Double headshot, double collat, and they're both headshots. Oh, not again! That's what you get, buddy. I never knew you could actually do this with the scope. Really? I went to my freaking op, or the AWM.
Just use it. It's great. The 5.7 gives a great balance between damage, fire rate, magazine capacity, and awesome looks. Muzzle velocity and penetration shouldn't be too big of a deal in the secondary category.
Oof. Son of a bitch, dude. Yeah. I don't know. God damn it! Dude, they always pull melee. Too bad you couldn't get on Phantom, dude. Yep, you know. That's 5, not 2. And not 5 and not 4. Come on, give me a second, I need to mute for a second. Maybe. I sprayed like 3 people. Not to use the Groza 1, I think again. Man, that guy... Some guy tried to quickscope me, and I just looked back at him and hose him with a freaking Groza. I like how it's like, you know, modify your Groza 1, which already comes with a vertical grip. Put a vertical grip on it. Like, it just gets smaller, bruh. Like, why? What is it? Like, how it's like, now you get the benefits of a vertical grip, but you have to add one, even though there's already one on your Groza 1 already. Sorry, man. Stay hydrated, this is a threat. How do people genuinely like this gun? Like, come here. This thing is horrid. Like, I can't. Its recoil is absolutely bonkers. Maybe the recoil is better now. And this being a yapping mofo. ADS is terrible. I think I remember back when this was like the last LMG you'd get. Yeah, I don't like that gun. Yeah, this thing is horrible for long range. Oh my god. Okay, I'm sorry, but does my family have the, like, want to incessantly stop upstairs or something? Yay, rank 102. I get. Wow, you camping piece of crap. Oh, I actually have the Deagle XIX. Oh, wow. Man, yeah, this Desert XIX, a one shot to the body. I hate this Groza. Should play Mince Ref. Imagine if Armed Forces had a battle royale. Oh! Damn it! So weird, now I get to actually be triple digit ranked. Oh my god. Dude, why? Dead. Shit. Dead. Damn it.